My name is Felicity Beckett and I am the manager of a local cinema.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm a body therapist. I live in Brighton.
We have not been taught or given the tools essential to living a life of inner peace.
Love, creativity, connection.
Everything that is in my life at the moment is perfect for getting me on this next road. From the last time we met, I said that I was going to practice the Kahn suggestion of, and it's kind of like an intention of loving what is.
Brilliant.
Yeah, really brilliant. So, for instance, with my children, you're perfectly on time for something, and then suddenly a nappy needs changing or something, and it's kind of like, okay, I wasn't prepared for this, but I'm going to love it, and it's kind of. It diffuses it straight away if I can remember to do that, and it kind of takes me from being completely overwhelmed by something to being in charge of something.
Why is that?
It's interesting, isn't it? Why does it do that?
Is it because you're not resisting?
I guess it must be. Yeah.
It reminds me of the Buddhist thing of kind of like either aversion to something or attachment to something. So if you've got aversion to what's happening, like, oh no, got a shitty nappy, I've got to change.
Yeah.
As opposed to going, oh well, I'll welcome that. So to speak. So you're not wasting. I can feel my energy change when I say it.
Yeah.
So you're not fighting it.
It's so weird.
You're going with the flow.
And it is literally. I can feel myself either drowning.
Yeah.
Or above the water and observing what's going on, and it's been a really intense few weeks actually since I met you. There's been a lot going on.
Anything you want to share?
Not specifically, but it's all been very trigger based for me. Lots of stuff that I would normally find very difficult to cope with, and actually I can't say I've coped particularly well with a lot of it, and but it's all been fascinating to observe what's going on for me. And I think some of it, I wonder if I'm almost being tested because I'm putting myself in this position of wanting to grow spiritually and wanting to put my money where my mouth is. I read a fantastic book by a guy called Mastin Kipp called Growing into Grace, and he said that most people, or a lot of people, are just involved in spiritual entertainment, which I thought was really spot on. You can watch loads of things, you can listen to loads of YouTubes and loads of tapes and things like that, but to actually do something and to really intend to change and to grow and
put it into action, isn't it?
Yeah. So that really struck a chord with me, and I thought, no, I've committed to wanting to grow. And there's been lots of challenges that have come up over the last 6 weeks that have just sent me almost hurtling in the opposite direction, to really feel like, no, I am drowning, I'm not coping, I'm really not spiritual, I'm rubbish at this. I'm so stuck in ego and in form that I'll never be a spiritual person. Who am I to even begin to want to discuss this? Because it's such a nonsense that I feel that I'm in any way qualified to sit here and even have a conversation with you.
But you are.
But I am, and also I think, and this is again listening to Matt Kahn, who I'm just loving at the moment, and I know this already, and actually, but he was saying that pain is the touchstone of growth, which I do think is true.
Just what you're contemplating.
Yeah.
What you're saying, what comes up for me was a phrase I heard that kind of, it's funny how sort of phrases resonate with you. It's like the hero's journey is beset with obstacles.
Yes.
Like every hero in every story, they don't get the girl or the boy or the treasure or the accolade straight away. There's always things getting in the way.
Yes.
Really. So, and that is the test. And I think that is the spiritual test, is when, because we can all be spiritual when it's sunny and we're walking down the road, but it's when the shit hits the fan and you kind of have to go, am I going to go into my new way of being? Am I going to do my intentions, my affirmations? Am I going to be the peace, be the love? Am I going to let go of my ego? Am I going to let go of the judgment? that it is the growth. The pain kind of slaps you in the face to test you.
It does.
Really. And you can either go, yeah, well, I'm going to, or you sort of go and plough through it.
Yeah.
The hero's journey is beset with obstacles.
It is. And it's also, it's not just about being completely zen and like, I'm just so okay with that, I will absorb your awful energy that you're chucking at me, you know, and it's kind of like, actually, no, I've been feeling really angry and really disappointed.
Oh.
And yeah, there's been some big stuff going on, and I've had to be very brave, and I've had to call on all my sort of spiritual knowledge in a way, and surround myself with it and think, what is the best thing to do for me? What am I being called on to do here? And often, ostensibly, you can think, right, all I've got to do is go into this meeting and say this. But actually, what you're really doing is challenging the fears, or what I've been really doing, is challenging the fears that have kept me small for a very long time.
Yes.
And actually, the meeting is just the kind of structure on which I'm now being able to hang my spiritual growth on.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Sense.
Because it is the everyday thing, isn't it? It's that phrase, before enlightenment,
yes,
chopping wood
yes,
and fetching water.
Yeah.
After enlightenment, chopping wood.
Yes.
And fetching water.
Yeah.
So it's about how you do it. It's all back to intention. Obviously, we're talking about intentions a lot today.
Yeah.
It's about how you go through, like, what intention you go through life, how you go. And I love that what you said about challenging the fear. It's Eleanor Roosevelt said. I think I'm not sure. Maybe someone will let me know. But it's something to do with the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Yes.
And the world, again, we are controlled by fear.
Yeah.
That's one of the big tools that the ruling people use.
Yes.
Is fear and intimidation.
Yeah.
So that we are all small spiritually and in every sense of the word.
Definitely.
Really. And that's why you have to be brave and courageous to go through that fire of fear.
Yes.
Really.
Yes, and to somebody else.
It really is.
Yeah, to another person, they might have thought that the things that I've been going through this month are nothing to fear, and nothing. But for me, they are.
Yeah.
For me, they've been big things, and I've been distressed and disturbed and worried. But I've also been carried. I've also been absolved. I've also been so surrounded by love with the right people, that have supported me. So there's lots of, life is always yin and yang. Life is never black and white, never easy. And I think, and again, I was listening to Matt Kahn that was saying, I have been holding on to this belief, I think, that if I am doing all my spiritual practices correctly, then I will not feel pain or suffering. And if I am in pain, like emotional pain or whatever, then somehow I'm failing, somehow I'm doing something wrong. And he's reassured me that I'm not.
Because that's the work, is to transform and transmute that pain into the love, into the light.
Exactly.
I understand what you're saying, and I do agree with you. It's very perceptive. I haven't thought of it like that, and I will certainly reflect on that. But my romantic side wants to believe that as a species, as human species, that we will transcend all that.
Yes.
We will get away from, the ego and vampire capitalism that we live under at the moment, and we will get past that emotional and physical pain.
Yes.
Really, I think that I do believe that will happen.
Yes.
I don't know if it will. I like to believe that will happen.
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
Really.
Yes.
So we will be able to exist in the physical world, and we won't have that pain.
Yeah.
I think at the moment it's that is the case.
Yes.
Because there is so much fear and around the world in us. But if we transform that, don't you think that? I mean, I'm asking, I suppose.
I think that is going to. I think we're going to constantly evolve.
Yeah.
And I think that evolution is unbelievably slow. Like Richard Dawkins says it so beautifully when he says it's just like the longhand on your watch. You just barely perceive it moving, and
That's
it's just
nice.
like you look down. Yeah, it's a really nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
You can't. make a movie of it. It's billions and billions of years, and and whilst lots, you do see those really quick animations of someone coming out of the soup and then
Homer
suddenly...
Simpson. I saw a Simpsons of it.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
They did exactly that from the fish up to Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
So I think part of the transmuting the fear and going through the fear and going through that firewall of fear is the letting go. Is letting go of the ego, letting go of pride, vanity, envy, anger, anxiety. Because the first part of this year, I had quite a dark time, and when the rubber hit the road, and I put into practice the spiritual stuff, and it carried me. Yeah. It sort of supported me through, and I went to some kinesiologist therapist, which kind of was working in tandem with it. And the second part of this year, internally, I feel so much different. Wow. Really.
So what was the Sorry, say it again.
Kinesiology.
Kinesiology.
Well, it's to do with muscle energy testing and kind of to do with your meridian, I think, and then your meridians and your energy lines. And it was also part of it. She would ask certain questions, and certain answers that I would give would lead. I wasn't quite sure. It was all very esoteric. Right. But I certainly felt a change. But I do think that part of that was putting the rubber to the road, was actually putting into practice. Yes. And kind of going, I let go of the fear. When I was doing the tapping.
Oh, that's right, yes.
I let go of the fear, I let go of the anxiety, I trust that I'm divinely guided, I trust everything will work out perfectly. All those sorts of, but feeling it, not just saying it, not just a spiritual entertainment, but actually feeling it in my body. Even if at the time I think I have no idea. It's also letting go of the how. Yes. Letting go of the how things will unfold. Yeah. So it's actually trusting that, I think, as much as possible. Absolutely. And then the fear and the anxiety comes out and you let go of it. Yes. I release it, I let it go, everything's all right.
I did some tapping over the course of the last few weeks as part of a course on forgiveness that I've been doing as well, which I've been really enjoying, and I forgot to mention. It's a big thing that if you are filled with resentment, it shuts you off, it shuts you down. Yes. And again, you could become very small and very pinched and very full of fear. And and what I wanted to do was get rid of that feeling because it's
good
not
on
nice.
You, girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Well done for making that intention.
Yeah.
Do you feel better for it?
I do. I mean, in all honesty, I have been working it, and what I see more than anything is when we try and forgive people immediately, we're forgiving the wrong thing. I've carried a particular resentment for years, and I've never understood that it was actually the feelings that it brought up in me that I needed to let go of. I needed to forgive those feelings. The person that did what they did, that's fine. That's up to them how they behave. Yeah. And I'm probably capable of behaving just as badly. No. On lots of, but it's I understand now that it's the feelings that I need to be accurate about the feelings that it's brought up in me. Yes. And let them go. Yes. Yeah. So a lot of the time for me, with not being able to forgive people, what they've brought up in me is a deep sense of shame, a deep sense of my own inadequacy, a worry that I really am unlovable, and I think that these people have seen the truth, and I hate them for it. I hate that they've seen me. I hate that they know something about me, and so I'm focusing on that hate. And that's the wrong thing. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
You are. Yeah. I'm listening to you.
So, in answer to the course is bringing up a lot for me.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And so at the moment, I'm just kind of in it. Okay. And if anyone wants to know about the course, it's Ayanla Van Sant, and it's on the Oprah Winfrey channel.
Oh, I know her.
Yeah,
she's great.
She's amazing.
She's great. I was listening to her just recently.
Yeah.
Oh, she's wonderful.
Say
the name again.
Ayanla Van Sant.
Van Sant. Oh, she is. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable. An incredible woman. Had an amazing.
Sort of minister, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and she talks about all this similar stuff. And what I love about her preaching, if I can put it like that, is actually she grounds it in her own experience. Exactly. And she doesn't do it in a way like some possible preachers do, that, I am holier than you and you are the person. She sort of says,
I messed up.
Yeah.
I'm grubby. I'm in this as much as you are. Yeah.
And this is my experience, and this is how I got through it.
Yeah.
And kind of because of that pain and anxiety, I grew through that experience,
Yes.
and now I've reached. No, I love her.
Yeah,
I love her.
yeah.
Because it is that thing about forgiveness. People get confused about forgiveness, don't they? Because they think it's, that you're sort of saying, oh, I let you off for hurting me emotionally, physically, or whatever it is. And it's not. It's actually freeing yourself.
Yes, and that's
from that. That's why you should forgive your enemies.
Yes.
Because actually, it lightens your own burden.
Exactly.
If you don't forgive your enemies, it adds to your own burden. Because,
Yes.
like you said, this person that injured you years ago, it's got on with their life.
Yeah.
They don't know that you're sitting here stewing in resentment and anger and bitterness, really, because of what happened.
Exactly.
So the only person that's keeping you in anger, resentment, and bitterness is you.
Yeah.
It's not them.
No.
They've moved on and had a divorce and whatever.
Absolutely.
So if you forgive your feelings and forgive them, that's going to free you.
Exactly.
Isn't it, really?
Exactly. And she says
Fascinating.
Holding a resentment is like eating poison and expecting the other person to die.
Yeah, I've heard the Buddhist thing about kind of holding resentment and anger is like holding a burnt coal.
Yeah.
The only person that gets injured is you. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And so for her, what she suggested, which makes perfect sense to me, because I've been like, but I want to forgive these people. I don't want to hold on to this, and I've been trying to get load of it for years, and it just doesn't go. And it's because I've been looking at the wrong thing. I've been looking at the perceived act rather than looking at the feelings it's brought up for me.
I'm just reflecting on what you're saying with my own experience, because there is the stuff that I've learnt to let go of, and forgive the other person, forgive myself, and there's stuff that comes up, and it's like, oh, not this again. Yeah, and I forgive. I'm gonna let. It's like, well, but I want to let that go. Why? And I think part of it. I do think part of it is our addiction.
Yes.
Our emotional addiction
to negativity.
Yeah.
And the ego, addiction to drama, and also the investment that you think that you have in it. Like if you've had a resentment for a long time, you've nurtured it. It's your baby, and it can't be just given up. Oh, that's how you sort of feel, But that's the ego as well, just saying,
Yes, it's how you define yourself.
Yes.
The sense of the ego is that, I'm just trying to clarify again, the ego being our sense of identity.
Yes, exactly.
I am this person, this is my job, this is my experience, this is who I am.
Yes.
And that's all false.
Exactly. And who would I be without this resentment?
Who would I be without it?
Because,
Who would I be without my pain?
Yes, yeah. And would I just be the most massive chump to let go of it? And these people have got away with it. And it's like, no.
That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the feeling that you're a chump. If you
I don't want to be a chump.
And let go of it. But you're not. You're actually living life, and you're embracing the God force by letting it go. And forgiving your enemies.
Yes. I mean, like I said, I haven't let it go yet. I'm in the process of, I hope. Because it's all hard. And, one thing I've noticed over the last few weeks since I've seen you is there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
I'm busy.
Oh, you mean in life in general?
Well, no, with all the things that are coming up for me, there's just so much to cover. And again, it's just trying to keep my self grounded and just focus. What is it? Okay, my intention is the most important thing.
It is, Felicity.
Yeah.
Intention is one of the most important things.
It is.
Even if your intention is to let go, if your intention is to forgive, if your intention is to see the best in everybody and the divine in everybody, if your intention is to... Yeah,
exactly.
It's the intention, because at least then you're guiding yourself to where you want to go.
Yes.
And it's funny, as you know, when you set those intentions, the universe will reflect it back to you, and things and people come back to you.
Yeah.
Really, if your intention is to be a miserable bastard, then that's the world that you will see. People around you will throw coffee over you, or cut you up, or just be nasty. And if your intention is to see the divine in everyone and see the best, then someone might sort of stand out the way when you're at a train station. Or I was in the shop the other day and I was doing some intention stuff, and the guy behind the counter went, "Oh, you can have that on the house, mate." And it was just a little thing, but to me it was a massive thing. It was like the universe just sort of going, just to let you know that.
Just setting yourself up differently just totally sets you on a different path.
And I'll tell you another good thing to do that I do when I remember is when you're in bed. I think we talked about this before. When you're in bed, go through the good things in your day.
Yes.
And I found that really
Gratitude
helpful.
list. Yeah, definitely.
going through the good things that happen in your day, rather than the bad things. So you go to bed with all the kind of, that was good, that happened, I met that person, had a free cup of coffee, it was nice and sunny, had a great time with my partner, and then you kind of sleep, and then you wake up going, I'm going to set my intention to be
whatever,
connected to the God force, to people, be the best I can, forgive myself and everyone, not be a chump, but let go of it all.
But I think
bookending it.
Yes. So what I'd like to come back to for our next meeting, if that's okay, is hopefully I might have a little bit of, not necessarily completion, but I feel like I'm in such a state of flux, and I feel like we started something with the last time we met, and that I'm just kind of in the middle of it now, and I would like, I have a feeling that next time we meet I'll be able to say, this resolved something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I mean, I might be wrong, but I just feel like I was worried about us meeting today, because I was worried that I didn't have anything tangible to say, look what I've achieved. I said I would do this, and ta-da, I have the prize. But almost.
But it's not though, Flick, isn't it? No. What you said at the beginning, I think, is a really good intention. It's all a process.
Yeah.
There is no beginning, the middle, and end. You're born, you die, and then the process is life and what you do with it. So it's ongoing. Before enlightenment, chopping wood, fetching water. Yeah. After enlightenment, chopping wood, fetching water. So you may have a bit of completion with certain things, but your life's not over yet.
No.
You've still got stuff to go through. So there'll be stuff that you'll go, I've had insight into this. Yes. But you won't, I understand what you're saying.
Yes, because it's the journey towards felicity.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's been interesting so far. So I haven't got any massive I love you things to finish on this week, but I do love you.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. I love you.